Hello, everyone, and welcome to Superman Homepage Live, brought to you by SupermanHomepage.com, the number one Superman fan site in the world. In this, our April 3rd, 2023 show, we're going to be covering a range of topics, including our April Fool's Day prank, hence my Mr. Mixius Pitalik t-shirt on today. We've also got stuff to talk about. James Gunn just recently did a Rolling Stone magazine or Rolling Stone interview, which I haven't been able to post up on the website because if you're watching this live, you may notice that the website is currently down. I've spent the last 40 minutes on tech support helpline trying to get them to figure out what was going on, and they've escalated it to level 2. The dreaded level 2. Whatever that means, I don't know, but obviously it's a problem that they're hoping to rectify soon, so hopefully it's all good by the time we've done doing this show. But yeah, we're pushing along on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and other social media platforms for tonight's show. And to let you know how you can get involved in tonight's show, let me introduce you to my co-host, Michael Bailey. Hello, Michael.
Hey, Steve, how's it going?
Doing well, and yourself?
I can't complain yet. Shockingly, I was not taken in by your April Fool's joke because I know expect it from the homepage. But I'm sure some people were. And to them, I'm like, at least it wasn't malicious. Unless you really hate One Direction.
Yes. But it not as it didn't create as much of a stir as a couple of years ago when we knocked off the head of the statue in Metropolis, Illinois.
Which fooled my wife recently.
Yes, it did get a new lease of life, that image going around. So how do people get involved in tonight's show, Michael?
Oh, it's dirt simple. You just go to supermanhomepage.com/live
If it works.
and press the if it works, and press the call now button. But since the site seems to be down, I agree with Justin. It's probably Brainiac. You can take out your phone and scan the QR code on the screen, and that'll also take you to the green room, and you can watch the show as we maybe get to you. I don't know about tonight. I'm looking at this list.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty extensive, but that's how you do it. It's pretty simple. Hopefully the site will be up soon.
Yes. And if you're a little bit shy and don't want to get on the phone tonight and talk to us and don't want to be on video, then you can participate in the comments there, especially on YouTube and Facebook. Michael and I keep an eye on that feed to see what people are saying, the questions you might be asking, and we will respond to them as the show goes on. And if you want on YouTube, there are also super chats. So what you do is you click the dollar symbol there on YouTube. A slider will appear. You decide on the dollar amount you're willing to donate. We will feature your comment or question live on the screen as we go along tonight. There's also super stickers and super thanks if you want to give those a go on YouTube as well. And thank you to our sponsors and patrons, Douglas Meacham, John Patrick Van Pelt, and Tina Murray. We appreciate your support. And you can join those fine folks by supporting the show by clicking the join button on YouTube. There are different levels of perks for different levels of membership. Also, you can go to patreon.com/Superman homepage. Well, Mike, as you said, it's been a pretty extensive list of things we have to talk about this week. A few things going on around about the world of Superman. But let's just get it off the chest straight away. Our April Fool's Day prank this past April Fool's Day was all about... we came up with the story, or I came up with the story. Actually, I used an AI story generator because I knew what I wanted to write, but I didn't know much about the gentleman in question, and that is Harry Styles. Came up with the news that he had been cast in the role to play Superman for the upcoming film Superman Legacy. It's not happening, obviously. It was made up. He is not the perfect choice for the role, even though he is probably handsome, strong, and has the perfect combination of charisma and humility. But that's neither he nor there, because he is not playing Superman as my April Fool's Day prank news story described. It's all false, and quite a few people got caught out by it. Apologies to anyone who freaked out. Hopefully you took it in your stride and took it with the spirit that it was intended, and it was just a bit of fun.
Yeah, I was not a fan of that costume. I am hoping that they do not go in that direction. Kind of went something a little more traditional than
That
whatever
is
the hell
one
he was.
direction you don't want to go in, huh?
That is one. To be fair, it's beautiful. Um, I have just exhausted my knowledge of One Direction music because I was not a prepubescent girl 10 or so years ago. So,
Mind the Gap says maybe someone was taken by our prank and out for revenge and attacked the site, and that's why it's down at the moment. Quite possibly Harry Styles fans could possibly be behind it, and are freaking out that he's not Superman, but neither here
yeah,
nor there.
that's why it's not that you posted the story; it's that you posted the story and it's not true, and they're
That's
mad,
right. Yes,
um,
very. That's the way.
screaming and yelling and stuff. But
Bit of fun.
yeah, you only
Yeah.
did one this year. I was kind of surprised. Usually you do like two or
Yeah,
three.
sometimes I do two or three, and I thought, you know what, maybe just stick with the one this year and see how that goes, and see if it gains more traction than doing two or three. That some of usually the second and third one are so out there that people go straight away and catch on. So I thought I'll just do one and
Hmm.
see how that works. But it was just a bit of fun, and we thank everyone for joining in with the fun of it. All right, so moving on to stuff that actually is happening in the world of Superman. In an interview with Film Junkie, director Zack Snyder responded to that fan movement you probably heard of, where people are asking for Netflix to buy out the Snyderverse and continue on Zack Snyder's films. He says that he was amazing to learn that his influence over these things is very small. He goes, it'd be amazing if whatever control over the IP exists. I don't. That's not my part. That's not my role. As they say, above my pay grade. So, I mean, good luck to the fans. They want to try to get this thing happening. He says it's not, he has no control over it. It's not going to happen. And was more interested in promoting his 3-day full circle event where he'll be screening the three films that he did get to make: Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and Zack Snyder's Justice League over the weekend of April 28th, 29th, and 30th. And so, yeah, there is all that.
Yeah, I like how he kind of skirted the line there, not saying, nah, I'm not doing it. I have no desire to do it or anything like that. Just basically like, yeah, those fans, they're great. And that being pretty much that.
He did go on to say that James Gunn he and they're buddies, and that James Gunn did write Dawn of the Dead for him, so they have a existing relationship. So he doesn't know if there are people aware of that, but he, obviously supports whatever James Gunn is doing moving forward.
No, 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 Steve. They have to hate each other,
Of
and there has to
course.
be all this. I a good friend of mine said something very on point recently. Is that the biggest thing James Gunn is up against right now is the fact that the drama going behind the scenes and on social media is much more interesting than anything DC has released as a film in the past couple of years. So
Yeah, there is that. Did you see the Blue Beetle trailer released today?
yeah, I did. I'm a big fan of Cobra Kai.
Mm-hmm. Same.
So it was I like seeing him. He's got that one move, but Jaime seems to be kind of a similar character to Miguel. So um, I think it's cool that it's the first Latino or Latinx, however you want to say it. I like to try to keep a broad, um, just in case one person gets offended and another doesn't. Um, first Latino-led superhero film,
Mm.
which is with a mostly Latino cast, which is really cool. I'm not quite sure who the villain is. They didn't make that terribly clear.
No.
Um, and they took a shot at Batman at the end, so I'm kind of happy about that too.
Justin Suarez in the comments saying that Ted Kord is his Blue Beetle, which is fair enough. I mean, everyone's got their favorite, like Green Lantern, Blue Beetle. There are different iterations of the character.
Yeah, I mean, I love Ted. I read the Jaime Reyes, the first Jaime Reyes series, like for a couple of issues, and then just fell off because it was falling off a lot of DC at the time.
Mm.
Um, but I love Ted. I like Jaime. I think Ted was dealt a very poor hand as a character. um, Getting shot in the head will do that to you.
Mm.
So, but the weird thing to think about that is that next year that's going to be like 20 years ago.
Yeah, that's crazy when you think about it.
So,
There you go. Well, there it is. So, yes, that's the movie side of things. The other thing, I haven't been able to post it yet because the website is down, but the report that was in the rollingstone.com is that James Gunn spoke about the tone of his upcoming Superman Legacy movie in doing an interview about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And he says, I learned so much from making these movies, he says, but it's not like Superman is going to have exactly the same vibe as the Guardians movie. It's actually quite different, which you would hope to be the case, I guess.
yeah, I mean, to be fair, Guardians came out of nowhere. Like, no one thought that that was going to be successful
Mm.
because of all of the films that Marvel released up to that point. That was the one that was the biggest, swinging for the fences, and
Mm-hmm.
thankfully, it worked. They managed to find Gunn managed to find a way to do kind of a humorous yet very emotional uh, cast of characters. Continue that in the second one. At some point, I'll see the third one, but my desire to watch Marvel films or new Marvel films is
Waning.
waned
Yeah.
significantly. Uh, and I'm mad about other things that has nothing to do with Superman. But I hate that people assume, and it's been this way forever. When they cast Michael Keaton as Batman, it's just like Mr. Mom is Batman. It's like, yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. That was the whole point.
Yeah,
They were
because
they
actors can't do more than one role.
yeah here, was I know the script was kind of changed a bit, but Dawn of the Dead is nothing like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
So let's keep it in perspective, people.
Yes.
He's good with character, and it seems like he writes towards his characters.
Mm.
So I like that too.
Yeah, and just the last thing on that interview, they said because he had so much success with a character like Rocket, would James Gunn consider bringing in a live-action cinematic version of Crypto, the Superdog? And he says, I think I would have an interest in a live-action Crypto whether or not I had anything to do with Rocket. So, yeah, there you go. Interesting.
Look, let's be fair. Crypto is not akin to Rocket. Crypto has been a
No.
beloved character in the Superman franchise forever.
Yes.
No, this is where you bring in Gangbuster,
Ah.
uh, and then make that something. Um, Not that it could be played by Bradley Cooper because Jose Delgado is Latino, so that would be bad. We're gonna whitewash this character.
Wow.
Um, but yeah, no, like live action Crypto. It the Titans did it, and it was adorable. So
Hmm.
why not?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you don't want a talking dog like in, say, Crypto the Superdog or the DC League of Super Pets, but yeah, like the way Titans dealt with Crypto, why not? It could work
Uh
very
huh.
well.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so that's the movie side of things. Now we look towards the television where Superman and Lois, you did the review for the third episode of season 3 titled In Cold Blood. Doc this one a point. The last two got a 5 out of 5. This one got a 4 out of 5 from you. Um, any reason why you didn't think it was as perfect as the other two?
I just there's a weird pacing issue that I can't quite describe.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was fine. Like I loved it. So let's just put that out there on Front Street. Um, I appreciated that the what the kids were doing is probably going to pay dividends next week or
Mm.
in tomorrow's episode.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of cool seeing the mirror of Jordan and Nat doing something while Superman and John Henry were doing something. Um, but their whole like the whole thing with Candace's dad, it just felt like it kind of came like it was the one part of the episode that I could have done without. And usually there's nothing about the episodes that I want to do without. So, but still, again, a 4 out of 5
Mm.
is a not as good episode of this show is still better than the best shows of most shows. So,
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with you. It was there were some elements of the episode that weren't highlights or weren't as great as other parts. It definitely wasn't as emotional as say episode 2 was with the
mhm.
reveal of Lois's diagnosis. But yeah, the whole thing about the truck and his girlfriend's father being very seedy type of character. Yeah, that was.
He seems nice.
Oh yeah, he's just a regular Joe. But let's have a look. Some of the questions being fired from John Patrick Van Pelt, thick and fast. Is it okay that Lois missed the treatment even though Jonathan and Jordan made her favourite meals and Clark had a nightmare? I don't know what any of those have to do with the others, but it's not okay that Lois missed her treatment, and I think that was the whole point of this episode. Was she kept dodging that first
Mhm.
treatment because she's having an emotional time confronting the idea that she actually has a problem. She feels fine at the moment. She wants to use everything else as an excuse to trying to dodge that first appointment. But it was nice to see that Jonathan and Jordan were trying to make her feel better by I don't know how good their cooking is, but nevertheless, they did something nice for their mum.
Eh, probably better than Clark.
Yeah, probably because he
Um,
doesn't seem to do anything in the kitchen. Next
well,
question.
he has alien taste buds,
Yeah,
so
that's true. Well, then he grew up with Martha's cooking, so he probably thinks, "Why the hell should I even try? I'm not going ever going
yeah,
to succeed."
exactly.
Do you guys think it's a good idea to give Natalie's watch to Lois, and should Jonathan tell Candace about Eliza in Metropolis? Well, I guess he did tell her at the end about that, and he kind of came up. He came forward with his truth after she'd come forward about everything that she's had to, he's had to deal with as
Mhm.
far as she was concerned and what she'd done in her past. So, but as far as Natalie giving the watch, that was an interesting topic because Lois in this Earth is a replica of her mother. She's, it's the same character, same person, but Natalie seems to be dealing better with it than her father, John Henry. He was very much against Natalie giving that watch to Lois, but I think came around to the whole idea by the end of the episode.
Yeah, it was John Henry was that was some severe denial on his part.
Mm.
It was very well done too because he was trying to play it off, but at the end he really had to admit to himself how he felt, and he's like, "It's not my wife, but she's still my friend. I'm going to be worried about her." Uh, and man, was he passive aggressive about the watch.
Yeah, big time.
Well, do whatever you feel, but it was your dead mother's watch.
What kind of building was Lois and Chrissy investigating that blew up in flames? That was just like it was a warehouse of some kind, and then they realized it was being used as a facility to house all that blood and experimentation equipment, and yeah, ended up being Superman's blood.
Yeah, that was an interesting twist right there at the end, and made sense of the title. I honestly thought there was going to be about two men coming to a small town and committing a horrific murder, but what do I know?
So hopefully Lois now commits to her treatments and will go ahead and continue getting the chemo and radiation and whatever else she needs to fight her cancer. But I think we'll see in the next episode that it's starting to take its toll, whether it's the treatment or whether it's her cancer that is, or whether it's just exhaustion. We don't know, but
Hmm.
yeah, we'll have to wait and see. John also asks, is there a hiatus for the show after 11th of April? Um, Not that I'm aware of. They probably just haven't announced upcoming episodes beyond the fifth one. Yeah, so we'll just have to wait and see.
I'm
But thank
actually
you.
hoping for like a hiatus around May 10th. But that's just because I'm going on vacation. So
Fair enough. I can understand that.
I don't want to
Um,
have to write a review while I'm in Florida.
yeah, fair enough. Another question: did the CW cut 2 episodes from Superman and Lois season 3, and will they be added to season 4 next year? No, don't know if they cut 2 episodes. That's the order of the list. I mean, that's the amount of episodes they're doing for this year, and we don't even know if there will be a season 4. So they don't usually tack on episodes from one season to the next. They just order whatever they want for the current season, and then hope that it gets renewed and picked up for season and another season moving forward.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
we don't know
that's
anything about season 4. We don't even
no,
know if there's going to be a season 4.
that's right. Other than James Gunn said it's a popular series and it should go on for another season or two. So but what he says and what actually happens doesn't always there are other things to be considered, and we hope that it goes on beyond season 3, but we're just enjoying the current third season, and we do have another episode coming up, and that is episode 4, and it is titled Too Close to Home, and here is the promo for that.
No researching, no emailing. Today is officially rest day.
Who stole your truck?
What happened to your face?
You stay away from my family.
Do not bother your mother. Both of you stop. Told you to take it easy.
Wrong day for that.
So there you have it. Telling Lois to take it easy is like, I don't know, it's impossible.
Boy, did they pick the wrong family to try to mess with. I mean, wow. Like I'm just like you're really gonna start messing with the Kents. Okay. Good luck.
Yeah, exactly. Not only, I mean, forget about Superman and Jordan both having powers. I mean, Lois is a formidable person on her own.
Yeah, I was about Lois is a force of nature. So
Yes.
it's just like
Exactly. Yeah, good luck with that. So yeah, that's the upcoming episode. As I said, Too Close to Home. The ramifications of Jonathan's face getting bashed in and his car being stolen, Lois's treatment with her cancer, and the investigation. And I believe we'll also see possibly we might see more of Mannheim.
mm-hmm.
So yes, because there was also this preview. I'm going to show a little bit of it here, but the CW doesn't like playing too much of it. Here's a preview for the upcoming episode, thanks to I think it's Brent Fletcher and actor Wale Parks.
Dad, I can handle this.
Be careful.
Hey everybody, my name's Brent Fletcher. I'm one of the showrunners of Superman and Lois, and I'm sitting here with Wole Parks, who you know as John Henry Irons, and we're here to discuss episode 304, written by Juliana James and directed by Stuart Hendler.
Eggs?
I'm not hungry.
Right after Lois's first cancer treatment, Clark wants one thing for his wife, and that's an easy day.
Do not bother your mother with anything.
And when you have two 16-year-old kids, that can be hard to come by.
I don't want to talk to her.
You don't hang up on your mother.
She shouldn't have slapped me.
There you go. Yes, we didn't even deal with the slap and how Lana and her daughter's relationship is falling apart, and yeah, she's becoming very rebellious.
Yeah, to anybody though that said she had it coming, rethink your life. I'm dead serious about that. I do not think that what she said was proper, and it was a terrible thing to say. People say things to their parents when they're teenagers that are terrible. So the response isn't to slap her across the face.
Violence is never there.
I seem to be the only one, or one of the few that really likes the Cushings, or the Cortezes, or the Langs, whatever you want to call them at this point. It's not my fault that they changed their name last season. I'm really kind of emotionally invested in their story this year.
Okay.
I like that Kyle is being available to his daughter.
Mm.
Like, he passes up some Netflix and chill with Chrissy to take care of her. So I was just like, that's, and looking at that clip, apparently it's continuing. So
Mm.
I like all that stuff. I haven't found a subplot that I dislike yet. Even the one that didn't really light my world on fire in episode 3 seems to have some payoffs in episode 4, so that may retroactively change that.
Yeah. John has another question. I thought Lex was supposed to be in episode 3. No, they said that he's coming later in the season. They never said what episode,
Yeah.
but they always said that he was in
I-
season
I'm
3.
I'm willing to bet that it's going to be like halfway through the season in a big dramatic moment.
Yeah.
So
It will
at
definitely
least
be
I hope
down
so.
the track. So, yeah, not in the first half of the season. Don't expect Lex to show up anytime soon. But, yeah, so there is that. All right, that's the Superman and Lois. There's just one little snippet of an interview that Tyler Hoechlin did when he was in Belgium this past weekend for Fax Convention. He did a quick Q&A. Here's a bit of that. Tyler having a chat about different things, different powers, different... It's like a Q&A, a quick, fast... Here, just watch.
Hey guys, it's me, Tyler Hoechlin, and we're here at Fax, and we're going to play Fast and Curious. Power of flight. I love to travel too much. Clark Kent. Part of the pack. I played baseball my whole life, so I like being on a team. I only know Tom Welling. I haven't met Henry yet. I'm gonna say Tom. I know Tom. But they're both great. Being outgoing. I like my time with people. I like seeing my family and my friends. The lone wolf thing, once in a while. It's a tough one because I finally watched all the Harry Potters. Oh God, don't make me choose. They're both really good. I can't do it. Oh, I live in a cave to avoid them. I hate spoilers. It's the worst thing. I don't know why people ask for them. Like, why do you guys ask for spoilers? I don't get it. That one I gotta go with Star Wars. My dad and my brother were bigger Star Wars fans, so it's just that's what I grew up with. I like to binge a show that takes its time. My favorite show like that is Peaky Blinders. I tried to make myself slow down, but I couldn't. It was so good. I really love Peaky Blinders. Werewolves. I would be never forgiven. Thank you guys for a great weekend. This was a lot of fun. Honestly, like one of the best conventions I've been to. Everybody was so lovely. Thank you for coming out to see us, and hopefully we'll do it again.
There he is, Tyler, doing all these Q&As. He's very diplomatic, very Superman.
Like he was going to choose vampires. He was on a show called Teen Wolf.
And still is.
I
think
know.
they're doing a movie, aren't they, of it?
No, that's what they were doing last year. That's actually what some of the delays were about. He was off filming that too. I'm amused that his choosing between Tom Welling and Henry Cavill was that he's met Tom Welling but not met Henry Cavill yet. So on a technicality, Tom.
Yeah, very good. So, heaps of conventions happening at the moment. Make sure you get out and see some of the celebrities that are out there. Just quickly, Superman, My Adventures with Superman, the animated series we've been talking about for a couple of years now. It's still happening, folks. And this week we actually got an official announcement from Warner Brothers that this animated series is in fact moving from Cartoon Network, where we thought it would be premiering, and will instead be premiering on Adult Swim and then Toonami. So it says the series will debut later this year during Adult Swim's late night primetime hours with encores on Toonami and on the streamer. So I guess that's good news.
Yeah, I mean, has a better chance of getting I mean, I know they have 2 seasons, but it has a better chance there than putting it in like the same rotation as like Teen Titans Go. I mean, look what happened to Justice League Action. They just put that thing all over the place. So giving it a set schedule means that an audience can find it, and it also means that it's not dependent on a toy line.
Yeah.
So, and it's got that 20-somethings appeal to it.
Yep,
I mean,
yep.
it's a younger Superman, it's a younger Lex, probably a younger Lex, a younger Lois, and a younger Jimmy. So, no, I mean, I saw a lot of people like being really upset by this, and I'm just like, look, the fact that Cartoon Network says we're showing this is a good sign, given how they've treated other shows.
Just quickly, Wale Parks did an interview with Comic Book Central, I think it is, and he spoke about the idea that there was an idea floated about them doing a Steel spin-off series, but not happening. But nevertheless, interesting to see that was floated at one point.
It'd be interesting to see what they did with it. Steel as a character in the comics struggled when he got his own series. It really wasn't until Christopher Priest got on that series that it kind of took off, and then it was canceled like a year and a half later.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I'm sure all of that was being talked about before the Discovery buyout.
Yeah. All right, we're at the halfway mark of tonight's show. We're going to take a quick break, play some messages, then come back on the flip side to do This Week in History, fan favourite segment, and get into the comic book side of things as well. So stick with us, folks. We'll be back shortly.
We'll be back in a moment with the exciting climax of today's episode. So stand by.
If you're enjoying Superman Homepage Live, then please like and share this video with your family and friends. Also, if you'd like to subscribe to our YouTube channel, then you can click on the bell to receive notifications whenever we post a new video. You can also join our YouTube membership program, just click the join button below. Or you can become a patron and support our website by going to patreon.com/Superman Homepage.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird.
It's a plane. No, it's SupermanHomepage.com, the #1 Superman fan site in the world. SupermanHomepage.com, covering the world of Superman from the 1930s to today. News, reviews, rumors, and reports. SupermanHomepage.com for all your Superman comics, TV shows, movies, cartoons, radio shows, and more. Everything you ever wanted to know about the Man of Steel and more. SupermanHomepage.com.
Thanks, Superman Homepage, for all the support over the years. I really appreciate it.
I'm Matt Bomer. I'm the voice of Superman and Superman Unbound, and this is the Superman Homepage.
Right here on Superman Homepage.
Well, fellas and girls, what I have to say will only take a few seconds, but I hope it sticks with you for a long time. It's about cleanliness, being clean in mind as well as in body. Now, believe me when I tell you that a clean mind in a clean body is important to success and happiness in life. For instance, in school, in your social life, and later when you grow up in your business contacts, the quality of the clothes you wear is never as important as the condition of them. In other words, it's never as important to be expensively dressed as it is to be neat and clean. Being neat and clean always leaves a good impression. And a good impression is important to success. Well, the same thing is true of a clean mind. So begin now to develop the habit of being clean in mind and body. Think clean and keep clean. Lack of cleanliness is usually a sign of carelessness, and carelessness indicates laziness. Remember always that carelessness and laziness lead to failure. Start now to prepare for success by thinking clean and being clean.
I think we got the message, Superman. Thank you very much.
Sorry, there's a point in that whole thing where he seems to be wrapping up, and I could see all the kids like collecting their stuff and getting their bikes together, and then he keeps going, and they're like, "Oh, okay, we're here, we're here for another few minutes." Superman uh, isn't done
He's not finished
pontificating on
yet.
how we have to be clean of body and mind.
Wow. Yeah, it's like they had a 30-second or whatever, promo they had to do, and they just kind of stretched it out and just kept going. So, yes, an interesting one back
It's
from
like
the radio days.
You ever see RoboCop 2?
No.
There's a part of the movie where they the people in charge of OCP are trying to kind of move him to the side, and they reprogram him and take away like all of his violent tendencies, and he's just like spouting poetry and like trying to like always do good, and that's kind of what that reminded me of.
Very good. All right, now let's jump into
the fan favorite question, John.
Yes, we're doing it. We'll do it right now, John. Yeah. Keep your hat on. All right, our fan favorite question is following on from the theme we've been doing for a few weeks now, and moving on to what is your fan favorite scene from the movie Man of Steel? And we had a few responses for this one, which is great. Who was up first, Michael?
Kenny Crowley Jr. wrote, "My favorite scenes from Man of Steel is flight. The first time we see Superman fly in the DCEU, and for the first time, a great scene, and the music works so well with it. My second favorite scene is when Superman rescues Lois Lane when her ship is falling to the ground. Such a nice scene in the film. Man of Steel is a film that has grown on me over the years. Did not enjoy it as much when it came out, but did learn to appreciate more as the years have gone on. Thanks, Steve and Michael, and keep up the super amazing work."
Thank you, Kenny. Thank you very much. Next up, we had Mike Zumo, who wrote in saying, "My favorite moment from Man of Steel is easily after this Smallville battle when Superman is emerging from the Sears appliances, and as he walks out, you see the soldiers slowly lower their weapons, and Colonel Hardy caps it off by saying, 'This man is not our enemy.' One of the very few moments of acceptance we saw in these recent movies."
Yeah, the one soldier that was really on his side got sucked into the Phantom Zone. It's kind of unfortunate. But a good death is its own reward, apparently.
Yes, that's right.
Alexander wrote, "My answer for this week's question is the flight sequence when Clark, first time in the suit, learns to fly. Definitely. His happiness while flying and everything. I love this scene. It's a marvelous moment. Oh, if I may add a small thing, the scene where Lara, torn between sending her son to space and saving him or not, torn between Jor-El and Jor-El and Zod, finally pushes the button and sends the ship into space, is a scene that hit me completely. 2 Kryptonian thumbs up."
Thank you, Alexander. Appreciate that. Next up, we have John Patrick Van Pelt, who says, "My favorite scene from Man of Steel is when young Clark Kent learns about his superpowers from his father, Jonathan Kent. Can I just continue being your son? Pretend I'm your son?"
"You are my son."
Mm-hmm.
And then continues to send horribly mixed messages. Ryan Ignatius Pratt wrote, "My favorite moment for Man of Steel is the scene where Martha Kent goes to Clark's school and helps him focus the use of his emerging super hearing."
Yeah, it's a great scene.
That was a good one.
Yeah, that is a good one. So thank you, everyone, for those responses. Great to get so many for Man of Steel. And moving forward, our next movie up is... And our next favorite question, therefore, is what is your favorite scene from Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice? It can be either the theatrical cut, or it could be the version that was released, the special edition, whichever it is. The email address is rolling across the bottom of your screen right now, info@supermanhomepage.com. Send in your responses to the fan favorite question, and we will read them out when we return to this question next week. That's the fan favorite question for this week. Thanks for everyone's involvement. All right, Michael, this week in history.
Come with me now, my son, as we break through the bars of your earthly confinement, traveling through time and space.
All right, proving that I can't read when I'm rushing to get this stuff done. We start in 1953 with Superboy number 26. Which has a super tot story. Yay. Um, sorry, I hate Super Tots so much. Jumping ahead to 1963, we have Superman number 105, or Superboy, excuse me, 105. This one was apparently owned by somebody named Tom. Superboy as the Simpleton of Steel. You're pulling one boo-boo after another.
Wow.
Oh, Lana. Also, Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen number 69 came out. This has Nightwing and Flamebird on the cover, which is the dynamic duo of Kandor, which I always thought was kind of a cool idea. 1973, we have Justice League of America number 106, which has the Red Tornado being Mopey on the cover, which happened a lot. We also had Superman number 265. Another really good cover. The covers from this little run of Superman, like, it really makes you want to read the book. Just a bunch of soldiers carrying off the body of Superman. I kind of want to know what happened. Jumping to 1983, we have Best of DC number 38. Which is Superman dealing with the supernatural, which actually has a really nice cover to that. If you're not, I don't know if I've explained this before, digests are trade paperbacks, but smaller, and are currently what I use. One of the things that I use when I try to decide if I need to get my prescription changed on my glasses, because I can't read most of these anymore. DC Comics presents number 59, has Superman teaming up with the Legion of Substitute Heroes. This is when that team became something of a comedic one, but that's a fun issue. And Justice League of America number 216, which has the Atom on the cover, all big while everyone's small, which is kind of ironic. Nothing from 1993. That changes next week. I'm actually kind of excited. 2003, we have Action Comics number 802, continuing the series of fantastic covers with a story that didn't land with me. This is all the wrap up of the Zod thing. And we also have Justice League Adventures number 18, which has the Atom on the cover. So it's like everything's rhyming tonight. 2013, Action Comics number 19. Remember when this book was heralded as the great new era and Andy Diggle was going to be the new writer, and right before this issue came out, it was announced that he was off the book already?
I do remember that. That was short-lived.
Yeah, this is not the best. The book really struggles until Greg Pak gets on the title. And then we have Smallville season 11, number 12, The Haunted, where Superman is wearing an electric blue outfit. That's kind of keen. In the real world, on April 2nd, Chris Maloney was born in 1961. While in our hearts, he'll always be Colonel Hardy because of Man of Steel. Let's face it, he's much more well known as Detective Elliot Stabler from the Law and Order shows. So, starting a trend of Superman dads having birthdays this week. Marlon Brando was born in 1924 on April 3rd.
Oh, yes. He didn't. I forgot to grab his image. It's somewhere there, but yeah.
You should have just grabbed a picture of a green bagel.
Yeah,
I think that would have been more appropriate.
Yeah.
And then on April 7th, Russell Crowe was born in 1964. And now he's gone off to the MCU too. He's Zeus.
He's also about to become a pope in a new movie about exorcisms.
Interesting.
That's kind of fascinating. We also, I think we mentioned him last week, but Cameron Cuff.
Yeah.
Is April 4th.
I remember that. We apologize, Cameron. We like you.
Yeah.
You seem like a decent guy. You like the character. So
sorry about that.
And on April 8th, we have a 1-2 punch. We have Jack O'Halloran, was born in 1943. It's really weird when I find out that all of these people that were in like the Superman film that I loved as a kid are the same age, around the same ages as my parents. Like, you think around that time he was playing Non, whereas my parents were like raising a family of 4. And John Schneider was born in 1960, another father figure to the Man of Steel, both on April 8th, and that is this week in history.
Very cool. Thank you very much for that. That was, interesting week of a lot of father figures.
Yep.
So there you have it. And grandfather figures, if you want to put Cameron Cuff in there as well.
Yes.
So there you have it. Thank you very much for that. Okay, let's move on to the comic book side of things, and let's bring in our good friend Mark Lax, who likes to join us at this part of the show and talk about the comic book side of things. Welcome, Mark.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Doing well, and yourself?
Oh, not too bad.
Excellent.
Okay.
MegaCon this past weekend took place, and DC did quite a bit of information, gave out quite a bit of information. They put up a comic trailer for what they're calling the Dawn of DC, as we know, the publishing thing that they're doing, initiative. Let's have a look at, if I can grab it. Why isn't it showing up? Let's have a look at the trailer that they released for Dawn of DC. It's a little 30-second commercial that will be playing across various different things. I don't know why I can't. Here it is.
They are the world's greatest superheroes. Their mission is to protect the world from evil. The DC universe is heading toward the light, but it's always darkest before the dawn. Dawn of DC. A year-long storytelling initiative, new epic series, new creative teams, new battles to fight, forging the future one hero at a time. They are the world's greatest superheroes. Their mission is to protect the world from evil. The DC universe is heading toward the light, but it's always darkest before the dawn. Dawn of DC. A year-long storytelling initiative, new epic series, new creative teams, new battles to fight, forging the future one hero at a time.
That's bizarre. I couldn't get rid of it there for a reason, and now I don't know. Now I can't bring it back. Very strange. I don't know what's going on with the technology here, folks. Bear with us. I will try to get it going again. It's very, very strange that I can't go back to what I had previously. Nevertheless, what did you make of that trailer as we try to get it fixed up?
It looked kind of exciting, I mean, exciting. Well, it looked good. I mean, we kind of know that, about the Dawn of DC. I mean, they've been pretty much, talking about that for months now. But I mean, it looks like each month they introduce something different, some new book or some new take or something. So it's interesting, that to see what's coming next. But
Michael,
I want to make it clear that I was not laughing at what Mark was saying, but mind the gap, making the Bill O'Reilly reference with "We'll do it live." We're not going to say.
They are the world's.
No.
Good Lord, man! They are the world.
That was fun. Oh God. That was...
So DC, I'm just going to put it out there right now. Nothing against the person you had do that. If you need someone to do dramatic voiceover, I am available and probably much cheaper. That
was deep.
The problem with it is that there's always this part of me. It's just like DC always says this is the bride. Like we're heading into the light. We're heading into the light. We actually have a shot now that DiDio is no longer one of the co-publishers. but and that's not a personal shot against him, but if you look at like his track record, they always were like, we're going to go to the light, and then the darkest things happen. Even Rebirth, they had death metal. So
yeah,
Rebirth was kind of disappointing. I mean, not disappointing. I mean, with Superman, it did well, but then it just kind of faltered. I mean, Wally West was supposed to be the light coming in, and it just he became the killer, and I don't know. I mean, I still enjoyed the comics, especially the Superman comics, but it just didn't seem to come up to what it was expected to, especially with Doomsday Clock, and they're gonna, reintroduce the JSA and all of this, and it just didn't coincide. I mean, the books, were like 3 years late, and I don't know.
They also during this. Sorry, go, Michael.
I was about to say, having said all that, so far, at least the books, okay, so I'm just mainly reading the Superman books. They haven't disappointed.
No.
So
no, they haven't.
And the fact that it led with Superman, I think, said something significant about changes within the company.
Yeah, indeed. Now, they also, during MegaCon, unveiled some pages from upcoming issues, including Superman number 3, which gave us a look at a new costume for Superman. Everyone was like, is this an April Fool's Day prank?
I thought it was April Fool's, but I don't see where this is going to be a new costume. Is it just, I don't know. There's stuff going on with Parasite. Maybe something.
Yeah, maybe it's
color
something
goes out.
Or it's to try. It's like when he put the lead suit on, during the animated series, so that it wouldn't be able to affect him with Metallo. So it could be some kind of a containment suit or some kind of a protection suit, but it's an all white one. We've seen other photos and other images of it. They also gave some pages for Action Comics 1054 from Philip Kennedy Johnson, which with some interesting imagery there of Metallo as well, and some great artwork.
Look, guys, those McFarlane figures aren't going to design themselves.
That's true.
And for every fourth Batman, you get one Superman. So they've got to do something different.
Yep, indeed. And now let's have a look at the comic books that are coming our way this week, and this is what we have to look forward to. There is really only the one book, and that is Adventures of Superman, John Kent, number 2, which is available in a number of different variant covers. Some of the designs and some of the styles are a little bit wacky, a little bit weird, but some great imagery. Obviously, Ultraman is very heavily involved in this issue, as is the Injustice Superman. And we also get a trade paperback, a hardcover of Volume 2 of DC versus Vampires, if you're interested in collecting that series. Talking about vampires and werewolves, as we were earlier with Tyler Hoechlin.
Yep.
Yeah,
exactly.
The John Kent Superman book so far is okay. I wasn't sure. I mean, I guess they didn't make it too clear at first that it was going to be a kind of crossover with Injustice, until I don't know, the previews came out for number 2 or whatever, but it looks like that's what it's about. It's going to be an Injustice crossover.
Yeah, and there is a flashback to when young John was kept in that volcano by Ultraman.
Right.
And so no spoilers too much, but I just read the review that was posted by our reviewer Craig Beamer, which will go up on our website tomorrow. But there are a few spoilers in there. If you haven't read the comic book, don't read his review straight away. Maybe read the comic book first.
Read it first.
But there is some interesting things that happen in that.
I don't know. I honestly think the dramatic potential of Jonathan meeting a Superman that lost his way after Lois died, and that Superman meeting another version of him's son, written by Tom Taylor, Everything about this equation is coming out awesome. So I'm really looking forward to getting the second issue. The first one was mainly set up, but not in a bad way.
Yep.
So now we can finally get into the meat and potatoes of it.
Very cool. And I'm happy to report, folks, that the website is back up and running. So
Yay!
Yeah,
that's
right.
a huge relief, a huge weight off my mind. It is back up and running. It only took them a couple of hours. Anyway, we can't look a gift horse in the mouth, as the saying goes. The Superman homepage Super Trivia Quiz has been updated for the beginning of a new month, and the 3 questions we're asking you this time around are, and I'm just going to bring up the graphic while I'm talking about it here. The 3 questions are, where is my graphic? There it is. Okay, we've got, what is the name of the Smallville newspaper in the TV series Superman and Lois? What is the name of the local coffee house in the TV series Smallville? And what is the name of the diner in Superman 2 frequented by Rocky? If you think you know the answers to all 3 questions, don't say anything now. Don't put anything in the comments. Head to supermanhomepage.com/trivia and you can put in your answers, and we will, everyone who correctly guesses those 3 questions will have their name listed in the list of people, the never-ending battlers list, as we call it. So some interesting, I think most people will know the first 2. The third one, you'd have to be a real super fan, I think, to know that one.
Yeah, I can't name that off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I'd lose at this point in Superman Jeopardy.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
It has something to do with a director. I'll just say that. All right, we'll move on. Just quickly, some interesting previews and sneak peeks at some upcoming merchandise items that are coming out this week. We have, just turn off the graph. Here we go. Have a look at this. We've got the For Tomorrow Superman statue that McFarlane Toys is, it's a 12-inch scale statue. That's a preview of that. Lois Lane statue. We don't know anything beyond that and that. I don't know why they want to show her shoes, but nevertheless, there is Lois.
Shoe coming off.
Yeah, the shoes coming off at the end there. And there's also now at, you can buy it through our website, this Bugs Bunny Superman cosplay statue is also available from wbshop.com. Get it through our website. It's about, 20.5 centimeters tall. And I think that's available now. It will be delivered next week. But that's pretty much all we've got time for in this episode of Superman and Superman Homepage Live. I want to thank you, Mark, for coming on tonight. Appreciate that.
Sure. Great to see you guys.
Talk to you soon.
Okay. Take care, guys.
See you later.
Bye.
But yeah, that brings us to the end of tonight's episode. Michael, another great episode. Thank you for your participation and for your help tonight.
Pleasure as always, Steve.
Don't forget, Michael and I will be back next week on Monday, April 10th at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time for another episode of Superman Homepage Live. We hope you'll join us then. Until then, be sure to check out supermanhomepage.com for all your daily news updates on everything surrounding the Man of Steel. Thank you to our sponsors and patrons, Douglas Meacham, John Patrick Van Pelt, and Tina Murray. And thank you to everyone who tuned in for the last hour with us tonight. JP Rocho, John Patrick Van Pelt, Nostalgic Pod Blast, Kenneth, Mind the Gap, I don't know if I said already, Justin, Chance, Diner Guy, Fast Sender, and so many others. Thank you for your participation in the show tonight. JP asking if there are any updates on the Superman celebration in Metropolis, Illinois. I do know that they are about to announce some things soon. They said coming soon, so hang in there. We'll bring you any details as that comes to hand. But thank you for tonight, everyone. We'll see you next week. I'm Steve Eunice on behalf of myself and Michael Bailey. Thanks for watching Superman Homepage Live, brought to you by supermanhomepage.com.